talking about the shape of the Earth initially, but if that's what y'all want to move on to, I'm listening.
No, Chemo knows what I'm saying. That's what Chemo usually
okay.
says when we're talking about anything but the shape of the Earth. So.
And it's not about him, by the way.
It's not about him. You're breaking up, Moyak.
That only matters if Chemo can get into the conversation. If it's not what Chemo wants to talk about, then it's a bad conversation.
Oh yeah, you muted, then diverted.
Well, apparently
it's over the room.
A good conversation with Chemo if you just don't really care.
Sorry, I'm making coffee. If I don't respond, that's why. Sorry.
All right.
Does anyone address you?
Sorry, go on.
To be fair, to Chemo, I mean, I could ask him a direct question: does his yard have grass? And he'd say, "This isn't about me," when the question is directly about him.
Just got another message, and we're not allowed to mock Chemo.
Why?
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 I don't know.
That would
Can we mock
Same one that called you a slut.
Wait, I'm not mocking him. I'm stating fact.
they need to let loose, Twitch. Okay. What else are they going to do?
Does your yard have grass, Chemo?
Not about me.
Yeah, that question literally isn't about him. It's about grass.
That's what I'm saying.
How do you know he has a garden? It's not about him.
The same way.
Any personal questions will be deflected with, "It's not about me."
I had to make a correction. We are allowed to mock Chemo. We're free to destroy ourselves.
No, thanks, man.
It's not about
Let
me,
loose,
Twit.
McGoose.
Banksy needs to put that on a bridge.
Look, you guys are suffering. You can't attack people that lied to you. So flat earthers are the next best thing, right? That's why you attack flat earthers. That's the only.
Well, since the world isn't flat, wouldn't they be the ones who are lying to us?
No, because the people that give you the false information, you can't get at them. Get at us.
So are you in here just to be your personal punching bag then?
No, again.
Compliment. Your phrase would have been worth millions, mate, if Banksy had written on the side of a bridge, "It's not about me, Chemo." You know?
It's not about me. We should make T-shirts. It's not about me.
We should do, yeah.
Chemo, in the last year, you've lied to me more than everybody else has ever lied to me combined.
It may seem like that now.
Could make some coin for the room, then.
What has he lied about? What has he lied about? Tell us. Share.
I don't think I've ever heard Chemo tell the truth.
Yeah, so give us one thing that he's lied about.
Well, a moment ago, he says that everyone else is lying to me. That was a lie.
Oh, God. Give him something else. Come on, fella.
Can't go higher.
He told me he knew how rocket engines work. And went on to describe how rocket engines work to me for about 40 minutes, and it was fucking hilarious.
Chemo,
it depends on how long you have a conversation with Chemo. Because the longer you have a conversation with Chemo, the more he likes to say things that you didn't say is your position.
Chemo, how many? How does rockets work?
Sorry.
How does rockets work?
The exhaust pushes the exhaust backwards, and the exhaust makes the rocket move.
Is that all right? Is he wrong?
The exhaust pushes the exhaust backwards, and the rocket moves forward. That's I'm gonna have to go with that's wrong.
Rocket.
So, Chemo, can you just restate? Let's start over blank and just restate, because you did stumble there a bit. So, just restate. Let's go blank. Restate what you were trying to say.
In a nutshell, it needs enough propellant so that the thrust pushing the rocket is greater than the so-called force of gravity pulling the rocket down.
Yeah, but we can use chemical rockets now that use
Well,
solid
non-rocket
propellant
scientists, but other rocket
and an
scientists, yeah.
oxidizer. So, you know, they
No,
can
so
working her.
he's right so far, but where does that force come from? The thrust force.
Look, what else have I lied about?
Yeah, he didn't lie about anything. See, he told you what it was. That's it.
Okay, it's I stand corrected. Chemo is capable of making a statement that is not directly a lie.
So
If
there
he
you go.
Googles
Well
it.
done. Chemo's not a
People
liar.
are capable of
He
bloody
lies
listening.
constantly, but he's
I wouldn't go so
capable
far
of
as to call
making
him not a
statements that
liar.
aren't lies.
Yeah, if he Googles
He
it,
will
he's
also
not
make
lying.
statements like atmospheric pressure does not exist. That is
And
a
his
lie.
mod rights, I tell you.
What's that? Say that again.
He will
Just
make
a
statements
new-
like atmospheric pressure does not exist, which is a lie.
He said pressure is just water. That's a thing he was on for a while.
Yeah, and that's another thing he says.
I think everybody forgot about the fact that he said Cavendish doesn't work in a vacuum. He lied about
That's
that.
another one.
Yeah.
Oh, he says that one all the time.
Hang on a
Temperature
second.
is a
Hang on a
force.
second. I have to defend Keenan a little bit. Okay, if he believes those statements to be true, and he says those things to be true, and he thinks those things to be true, how is it a lie?
Hold on,
You're right.
because what he said specifically was that the Cavendish does not work in a vacuum. That's a positive statement. That's a lie that he told for a really long
what
time.
he's bringing up is
true. Hold on a second.
whether it is a lie based on if you know it to be the thing he's breaking. I'm gonna stop speaking. The problem he's bringing up is whether something is a lie based on whether the person saying it thinks it's a lie or not, or whether it objectively is a lie or not. That's the big difference there.
A lie
implies
can be
intentionality.
deceived.
Anything that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. If Chemo believes other than that, and he's saying something contrary to that, then it's a lie. But if he thinks it to be true, it's not a lie. He may be deceived.
That's right.
That's a different thing.
That's
Well,
right.
hold
that's
on.
right.
So what
But he
he
knows better
originally
than
hold on. What he's originally claimed was that it doesn't work in a vacuum. He had no information by which to go on to make that statement. He legit said something that he did not believe to be true.
Well, you're speculating that part. I mean, to be fair, right? Because he if he believes it to be true, and there's not really any way to magically know, then it wouldn't be a lie. Now, I happen to
Yes,
agree
it
with you.
is.
I do think he knows. No, why? If he believes it to be true, you have to have intentionality to lie. You have to intend to lie. You have to be aware that you're lying in order for it to be a lie. Otherwise, you're saying a falsehood or you're saying something incorrect, but you're not lying, right?
But what he
Yeah, that
said,
was Jared's
what he said
excuse.
specifically
I
was a
can't be
positive
lying
statement.
if I believe it.
What he
Yeah.
said, when he's making a positive statement, when he's saying it does not work in a vacuum, is not something that he knows. He's just.
But he thought he
saying
may
it.
have thought he knew that though. He may have thought he knew that.
If
If I say to you something like if I'm just not an expert but I think I'm an expert, if I'm incorrect about my level of expertise and I do a Dunning-Kruger statement, I might believe I'm telling you something true even though I'm just talking on my ass, and I'll learn that later one day. That's the idea here, right? And now I happen to agree with you. I happen to think he does know that he's lying. I do think he's lying for sure. But there is a distinction, I think, in theory that somebody could say that and think they're telling the truth.
God, I was gonna say, Scott, I never thought I would see the day where you were defending Chemo under accusations of him being a liar.
I'm not defending him. He is a liar. There's no doubt. Everything he says is a lie. In fact, this is a true statement. In my entire life, if you lied every person I've ever come encounter with, and you literally have like God come and say, this person lied the most, this person lied the second most, there's no doubt in my mind, Chemo is number one person I've met in my life who's told more lies to me, who's lies more consistently than anyone else I've ever even touched or come in contact with.
What was he lying about?
He is the
just
biggest
went
lie
through
I've
that.
ever met in my life. Literally everything he
Mark's
says.
trying to defend him.
Literally almost everything he says has an aspect of a lie to him. I mean, he's told me, oh my gosh, he's told me all kinds of stuff.
He passed on the rocket one. What else has he lied
Closer
about?
to your mic. Nobody
Well, he
can
tells me
hear
all
you.
the
He
time that my
passed
dad.
on the
he told me all
rocket
the time
one.
that my-
He said one statement that wasn't a lie about a rocket. Didn't mean he didn't spend 40 minutes to me lying about rockets.
Well, he'll come in here every day and he'll start telling me that my father was a liar, which of course he has no way of knowing, and he knows that he doesn't know. He'll tell me that he'll tell us that flat Earth is getting bigger and bigger every day. He'll tell us that half the world are flat earthers. He'll tell us that the globe is dead, and that everybody knows this, and that we should give, all these things are just deceptions of varying degrees. He'll call people pedophiles when he knows they're not. He'll, just nonstop. It just goes on and on and on.
He'll mute people in here, claim he didn't do it, get shown the logs of him doing
That's
it,
right.
claim he didn't do it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
He also is not defending himself at all in this situation, as these lies are being pointed out over and over and over again.
Chemo just loves when anyone talks about it.
Well, the thing is, Chemo wants the attention, and if he doesn't have to speak to get attention, then he's even better off. It's free attention.
I guess if it makes you happy, Mark, you can believe that Chemo is just full of truth.
No, I'm just.
So why would you want to think that?
I'm just asking.
The thing is, they're not defending Chemo, saying that he's not a liar in the sense that he always speaks the truth, but they're saying that if you to lie, you must have the intent to deceive, and you can't prove that he is actually knowing differently and intends to deceive you. He might just believe everything he says, even though they are false.
There is a chance.
But there's a limit. There's a limit to that, though, because it'll literally be to the extent of he'll say something like "Flat Earth is growing every day," and then we'll show him Google stats that show how Flat Earth searches have gone down, and then he'll say change the subject, and then the next day he'll come in and say the same thing again, and we'll say, "What about the stats?" And he'll be like, "You didn't show what stats?" And it just the absurd games that he plays makes it very clear that there are aspects of this that he knows are lies.
The one thing he's not lied about is that he's from England. I think that's the exception.
The question is, do you know whether he might have some sort of condition or memory thing where maybe he just doesn't remember that from yesterday, and he comes back and
sometimes it's minutes
about
after
it.
the fact, or even 30 seconds after the fact.
All right, guys,
I want to ask Scott
let's
something.
move on to a different subject. This is getting boring. What about curvature? Is there any curvature?
Sure.
Yeah, where?
All around you.
You across the room from your computer or your microphone?
His voice is being blocked by the curvature of the Earth.
I'm right next to my.
Well, I just wanted to say, well, first of all, I never talk about myself, so I can't be lying there. I ask questions only pertaining to your model. So asking questions is not a lie. And I have opinions on certain topics and things. That is also not a lie. So there are no lies here with questioning and investigating the heliocentric lie that has no evidence to support it. Okay?
Chemo, can you comment on Mr. Sensible's Mage 2 project, please?
Yeah, that was debunked. I made a response video to that. I included the experts, Neil deGrasse, and another astrophysicist, who scaled how much curvature you would or wouldn't see from particular heights. Now,
Okay, no. Oh, wait. Okay, so let's talk about Mage 2. So it has the altitude, it has the strings in the middle of the camera, so you can actually tell if it's barrel distortion. But you can still see curvature.
no, like I said, I'm gonna get the video for you now. I made a response video, and I was the only person he was unable to respond to because it debunked his Mage 2 there. Just give me a second.
Just throw it into the debate chat box.
Yeah, I will.
I'll have a look.
So again, this is the words of the experts. And he even messaged in this video, in this chat somewhere, "Oh, I'll debunk this in a week or so." And he wasn't able to do so.
Or he just didn't have time. Remind him.
Oh, he was debunking everybody that addressed his Mage. And he even messaged in the chat here that I will debunk this in one way or another. And he failed to do so. So take a look at this. This is the expert saying that he's simply not high enough. And any curvature that he does see is down to the camera. wide
But
angle.
no. But
There's
hold
no
on.
measurement. There's no measurement. No measurement of curvature.
I mean, the point of having the strings across the middle of the camera was so that you could see whether or not it would be barrel distortion, because the strings would bend, and they didn't.
Okay.
That was the point of having the strings attached to it.
Yeah, but does he know how big the Earth is? Yes, we know. So can you scale it? Yes, we can. Problem.
My problem is in the actual video. In the actual video, despite having the... Oh, did you use the proper camera, by the way, when you were debunking?
Proper camera. I mean, again, regardless of any camera, is irrelevant because, again, we have a scale. Scale. Do you understand scale?
Well, what I'm saying to you is, when you're watching this video from start to finish, right, and he does have a version where you can watch the entire thing. There is another version that's just sped up. But you can watch it from start to finish, from when from when the balloon first starts rising right through to when it lands. And from that video, with the strings attached, you can see whether or not the strings would distort because of barrel distortion. They didn't, or they didn't to even a fraction of what you could see. But in that video, you could still see very clear curvature.
Yeah, I mean, again, it may have looked so. Even from
no,
height.
It was so.
Well, this is what
you can see it.
I understand. Yes, it may have looked like that. Yes, due to atmospheric conditions. Maybe you're looking at the circle of sight there. Yeah, many reasons why it may have looked as you're looking at curvature. But when we do the calculations, the maths work in this instance. You know the size of the Earth, you know how high the object is, you know the field of view, okay? You know what he will see, he or she will see, yes? And it's been calculated that ISS does not even see curvature. It's still too low to the Earth, 2 millimeters in fact, in a scaled down model, too low to the Earth to detect curvature. That's from the astrophysicists, not from me. So what I would have to say to you, what I would have to say to you, Crafty, is
let him finish.
What I have to say to you, Crafty, you are arguing with the experts, not with me. In this instance, I'm parroting what they're saying, that you're not high enough, even from the ISS. You're not high enough.
So you're trying to compare the scale of the ISS to a tiny little camera.
No, I'm not talking about the camera. I'm talking about the scale. And
no, he's worse. He's quoting Neil deGrasse Tyson out of context.
Yes, very, very much out of context.
No, we have a model, a scale model. Understand? So we can scale it and see how far you can see.
How do you quote Neil deGrasse Tyson out of context? He says you can't see curvature.
He doesn't say you can't see it from the ISS, though, does he?
No, that's in there. That's another.
That's the part that's out of context, and that's why we always say chemo lies.
Because look, Crafty, we're getting away from ourselves. When that space flight happened, okay, there was a lady on there said, "Oh, she thought she was going to see curvature or the Earth, but she never saw it." Neil deGrasse went on the news and said, "Yes, you won't see curvature from that height, from higher than what Mage did, much higher than Mage in a rocket. You still didn't see curvature." From 65 miles high. So think about what you're saying here. Think about what you're saying here. If you go higher, 65 miles, and you see no curvature, and drop down to 23 miles, that's how high Mage went, 23 miles. How can you see curvature?
We've shown you was Mage.
That's a bit of a problem.
How do you see curvature at 23 miles, and then you go higher, Crafty,
wrong about that.
And you go higher, Crafty,
he's wrong.
and see no curvature? Explain that to me.
But we've shown you that he's wrong about that statement. What he said is incorrect. We've shown you with models that you will see curvature at that height.
Explain that, Crafty.
And you got to explain that to Neil deGrasse Tyson as well. Then
explain that the experts are giving us the scale model, okay? And you're saying no, the experts are wrong.
Wait,
okay?
Are you just making are you making
an appeal to authority, Chemo? Like, is that who we're supposed to trust, or should we?
Well,
trust
I'm asking Crafty here if the experts are telling her that cannot see curvature, if she went to one of their, conventions in the audience, she would hear the experts saying, no, you cannot see curvature from this height.
You can't.
Well,
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, right? First of all, again, context is important. Second of all, we as humans are not equipped to see certain things. Our eyes are not highly specified instruments. They're not. There's a difference between
the higher we go, the further we can see. The lower we go, the smaller things we can see.
But there's a difference between what a human eye can see and what a camera can see. That's the whole function of a zoom thing. We don't have the zoom function, but you're not actually addressing the point that in that video, regardless of what anyone else says, okay, Chemo, regardless of what anyone else says, in that video, you clearly, the camera is small. It is a high functioning definition camera, high definition camera. You can see curvature. Why can you see curvature?
Again, there are many reasons. We've been over that. It could be your circle of sight. But what we do know is not Earth curvature. We're looking for Earth curvature, Crafty. That cannot be Earth curvature, because if you went higher than 23 miles, 25 miles, 26 miles, you would see more curvature, not less curvature. How is it that when you go higher than 23 miles, you see less curvature?
You see more curvature there.
Who says we see less, Chemo?
Crafty, I posted 2 videos where we've got 2 different astrophysicists explaining what you would see from different heights, like from an aeroplane, from a balloon, from the ISS, and he explains to the audience that paid money to listen to this information about physics that you cannot see curvature from the ISS.
We
Who
have
said
seen
you can't see curvature from the ISS, Chemo?
Where did you put them?
All right, I'll post the
it's
one. I'll post the one with the scale. The guy's got an actual scale model of the Earth, and he's showing you a ring of how much you would see. And this one here is me debunking Mage 2.
Right, I'll have a look.
Yeah, so check those out. I mean, again, you're not arguing with me specifically per se. You're arguing with the experts who have done the calculations. Either the calculations are wrong and the maths doesn't work, okay? And
they were just talking about something different. Chemo is the issue. They were talking about full hemisphere, and we've shown you pictures of things lower than the ISS where you could clearly see there's a curve. So how do you reconcile these things? It's not even up for debate.
How do you reconcile
I'm
that?
posting one right now. I'm posting one right now that which shows you very clearly that at a height much less than the ISS, you can see curvature. What would you call that other than a curvature?
Yeah, we've been told by the experts, and that is because of a wide angle
I'm just
lens.
asking you what you would call that other than a curvature, right there in that picture.
Wide angle lens.
That's no, you can tell it's not wide angle by looking at the foreground. See,
that's what the experts tell us.
Well,
here's the
thing.
That, but how do you reconcile with that picture there?
I've just told you how. Wide angle lens. They've told us that.
No, but you can see in the foreground it's not wide angle.
Well, again,
that's not wide angle.
Well, again, if you see any curvature from the ISS, that's because of a wide. That's what we're told.
Out of interest.
You need to think it through yourself.
Not arguing with me. It's not my argument. I'm just relaying to you what we've been taught.
But what you're doing is misinterpreting it every single chance.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Neil deGrasse
says
you can't.
Yes, he is, Mark.
At a certain height.
Yeah, but
don't just over-talk him and blot him out and Fundy-mute him.
Mark, you are not going to bust in the middle of what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is that he does not have an expert that says that you cannot see curvature from the ISS. That is something he is lying about.
No,
you are not going to bust in and try and defend him.
I've got a
for
video.
doing it.
Let me post the video again.
Well, how do you reconcile with the picture, Mark?
I'll timestamp it.
Clearly, Neil deGrasse Tyson is wrong, right?
No, not just Neil deGrasse. I need the name of this guy.
Then he's wrong. Then he's wrong.
No.
Yeah,
Doofus, look, I've timestamped it. Not Neil deGrasse. This is another astrophysicist, right? In another conference with people, explaining to many people that from the ISS you cannot see curvature.
Where's it at? What's the time?
I've just posted it in here. not Neil deGrasse, another guy in a conference room, and he's explaining in great detail. He's got the model on the screen, and he's saying, look, if you're on a mountain, this is how much you would see. If you're in an aeroplane, this is how much you would see. If you're in a balloon, and from the ISS, this is all you would see of the globe, right? No curvature. This is what we've been told, Crafty. Now, again, you say...
That is not him claiming that you won't see curvature.
Again,
that is him
again,
claiming...
you're not arguing with me.
No, you're not going to change it now. You're not going to change it and lie about what he said now.
Here's my question.
What he's showing you is how much of the Earth you can see. That's not about curvature at all. So you don't get to lie and say that he's saying something different.
Yeah, have you got the original video by any chance, or just your version of his video? Because I would really just aside from this, I'd really like to see it. The other question that I had is, why is it that the likes of Neil deGrasse Tyson and this astrophysicist is an expert and is a specialist and is all of these great things when they're making a point that you would agree with, and they're not experts when they're contradicting you down to the ground.
Okay, we're just
why is it acceptable? But why is it acceptable to listen to part of what they're saying, and yet everything else you don't listen to?
Two reasons there. One, they're a hostile witness, and two, to get you guys to understand your own position. You know, you don't even know your own science, your own position. If you're on a globe, if I even accept I'm on a globe, I also have to accept that I cannot see curvature from the ISS. That goes with the territory. You're saying, no, we can see curvature, even though we're being told we cannot see curvature. So there's a
conflict. That's only if you accept Neil deGrasse Tyson as some sort of religious figure,
Tyson, there are other
which we do not.
I've just posted another physicist.
The other one as well. We don't. You can't just post someone saying something and then assume that everyone's going to agree with them.
Who is that second one? You said it was a physicist. You said a physicist, right?
Yeah, astrophysicist. He's got the tools. He's got.
Who is it? What's his name? What's his name?
I'm not sure. You find it. They know.
Because he's talking about the flat Earth there. He's talking about how the Earth is flat. So
no, he's a glober. He's a glober.
Has he had a flat Earth conference?
No, just a normal planetarium.
That's what I'm asking. Can you post the original video, Chemo, please? Because I'd love to see it.
I'll find out where it is, but I haven't got the original.
Thank you.
He's not going to go get that.
I can wait.
Something tells me we're never going to see that.
Yeah, but all the information is there in the video.
Well, yeah, but I, in fairness, Chemo, you're one of the people, and respect for saying, do your own research. You present the research. You allow me to actually research what the person is saying in first hand, in terms of the entire thing that he's saying, so I understand the context of where you're coming in, and that's what doing your research means. That you actually go to the first hand position instead of just listening to Chemo saying this is what this person is saying. Do you know what I mean?
This is not me speaking. This is him speaking.
Yes, but you're interpreting what he's saying.
No, I'm not. You can listen to himself what he says.
That's what I'm asking. Can I hear the entire thing so I understand the context? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, it is entire thing there.
What's his name? Who is it?
I'm not sure of his name.
So where did you find this footage if you don't know who this is?
I'm one of the flat earther.
So a flat earther handed it to you, and you just assume that they're a physicist.
What, are you denying it? You doubt it?
I'm asking you how you know that. You made the claim.
I've just told you how I got hold of it.
Yes, but how do you know he's an actual physicist?
Because I had the name of that before, I just can't remember.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you can find the original video for me, I can wait.
Yeah, no worries. I'll have a look. It's not going to be now, but I'll have a look around. But, yeah. On the internet somewhere, so it's not a problem. But the point is we've got people who agree with the idea that you can't see curvature from so close to the Earth. And this is what we're trying to explain to you. Mage is showing not Earth curve, what it needs to do.
Then we have pictures actually showing that.
Chemo, what would happen if we present another person who says it? You can see it from there.
I think to see the entire ball, you have to be 1 million miles away from the Earth.
Not a million miles. That's ridiculous.
That's a completely
I
made
don't know.
up
I don't
random
know.
number.
I've
Kimo.
just heard that it's 1,000,000 miles. So how far is it then?
It's not a million miles.
How
Yeah,
far
no,
is it then?
I don't know, but it's not a
Come
million
on.
because you can see it before you get to the moon.
Okay,
Everybody's
so
trying
how
to chase
far is
him.
it then?
What? He's trying to get away from Mage 2
Yeah, it's
now.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. So
No,
the
no,
point
he's trying to steer away from Mage 2.
Okay, so let's
because he
go
can't-
back to it. Let's go back to it. So Kimo.
Yeah.
So what is it exactly that you're trying to say about Mage 2?
This is too low, too close to the Earth, 23 miles high, half an inch in a scaled down model, according to the experts. Half an inch.
Well, sort of.
According to the experts, they calculate. So the numbers are wrong then.
Hey, Kimo. When Neil deGrasse Tyson said that, I think my interpretation of what he said was that he's talking about the full hemisphere. That he's saying you're too close to be able to see the actual hemisphere. So what you're seeing is like a chord or a section or an arc, but you're not seeing the full hemisphere.
He said that stuff is flat. What does he mean by that?
I think he means that you're not seeing the full hemisphere.
Gutters jump.
Crafty,
Yeah,
what does
that's
he
right.
mean when he says from Felix Baumgartner, which was 26 miles higher than Mage, the experts say that stuff is flat. Is he lying?
Looks, he said. Looks.
No, his words were that stuff is flat.
So how do you
talking about
reconcile that with the fact that it doesn't look flat?
I'm asking
you literally look and you see
Crafty
curve.
for her honest opinion.
Yeah, but
Stop
I'm asking
interrupting
you how you
Veach.
reconcile it. You stop interrupting. I was the one that asked you a question. Instead, you turned it over to somebody else.
No, I'm asking Crafty. I've given her 2 videos
Oh
where the
my God, you're
experts
such a
say this. I'm
goofball.
asking her if they're above Mage, 26 miles, and the experts say that is flat. What does he mean by that? If 23 miles lower, you say there's curvature, Crafty. Expert versus Crafty. Crafty says lower, curvature. The expert says higher, that stuff is flat.
What I would say, because I don't like shouting over people, what I would say is I'm watching your videos now, and I will give you an answer when I have, because first of all, taking people out of context is problematic. That's why I wanted the original video. I can't make it, especially with that second video, with the fisheye lens, the thing that you say is fisheye lens, I can't make a distinct judgment on part of what someone is saying. And yes, context is important for anything. I have not yet heard any I haven't heard Neil deGrasse Tyson or any other quote-unquote expert comment on Mage. So it does have to be... Yeah.
They've commented on Felix Baumgartner was at 26
They
miles high.
they haven't commented on Mage. Have they?
Are you listening?
If you have
Are you
it,
listening to what
I'll
you're saying?
watch.
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
So 23 miles, you're saying you saw curvature.
From that video, yes.
So if you were to go higher, what would you expect to see?
So they're clearly wrong about that.
Neil
Neil deGrasse Tyson is clearly wrong, Kimo. This you don't seem to understand.
Veach, you got to stop
You
doing
don't seem to
this.
understand that
You got to stop doing
NDT
this.
is wrong. Hey, Kimo.
No,
You're the one
Veach, what do you
repeating
mean,
yourself.
hey,
You're the one repeating
Kimo?
yourself
I'm
for
trying to
the
speak to
fifth time.
Crafty here.
How many times are you going to repeat this question for the 5th time?
She hasn't been able to answer because you keep on interrupting.
No, because she said she wasn't finished watching her video. She said she'll come back, and you just plowed ahead
Before
again.
she goes and does that, we're having a quick conversation.
You
I'm
shouldn't
saying-
need to answer your questions out your whims, dude, especially
Right,
when
this
you're
is a
repeating them
nonsense.
for the 10th time.
I think what you'd have to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson would, if you had a reference line, would you be able to see the curve? You got to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson a specific question that refers to the test that was performed.
Nah, don't ask Neil deGrasse Tyson questions.
Right, so Crafty.
He's
let's
kind
try
of dumb
one more
sometimes.
Just a final
Neil,
point. You've got to
Neil
think-
is not our priest, Kimo. Like we recognize that he's dumb sometimes.
This is the highest priest of the globe.
You've got to think, Crafty, of if you're at 23 miles high and you see curvature.
Oh my Christ! Are you going to ask this again, Kimo?
Yeah,
If
what
you're
are you supposed
23
to
miles
expect
high,
when you go
Crafty.
higher? Well, you're supposed to expect more curvature.
And you
the
see
problem
curvature.
is that the guy that you bring up doesn't say that you shouldn't see curvature from the ISS. So quit saying that.
Well, the other problem is that you're when I'm coming at this, I'm not expecting anything. I'm looking at what I'm watching. I'm looking at what the camera is showing. The camera shows curvature. So if it goes higher, I will wait to see, and this is the problem with presupposition, I will wait to see what the camera shows before I can analyze it. And see if it adds up to what everyone else is saying, or what the experts are saying, or what science shows us. That's the problem. You're presupposing, and you expect me to presuppose so that I can answer your question. I don't presuppose. I'm not an expert in science. I'm a sociologist. My history is in sociology, not in science. So
Sorry,
I'm watching what's being displayed. I'm trying to analyze why it is. So that's why I turn to experts who actually have experience in the field.
Okay, sorry, I have to point out there is no science behind it, what you're talking about. And you have to understand that.
So if we look at May,
it was just the whole presupposition of what do you expect to see if it would be higher. I don't propose anything until I actually see the results. That's the point.
It's not about the science. It's just
if we look at the Mage 2 footage in full, what we end up seeing though is that the horizon increases curvature as altitude increases. There's a clear correlation there. Starts out flat, gets more and more curved.
Everybody can point out the helium balloon or something to 120,000 feet.
How high does the ISS go?
250
miles, right?
250
I was
miles.
in the middle of saying it.
Okay. And Neil deGrasse Tyson said you have to go higher than that, right?
No.
Nope.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he said 1,000 and something. Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He did. I've got it right here.
Well, I'm looking at something.
Yeah,
I'm looking at something
not
right here.
not miles. He said feet, and guess what? It's his fucking opinion. And again, every time this subject gets brought up, you guys bring up something that some guy said on TV somewhere. Nobody gives a fuck what Neil deGrasse Tyson said.
He's an astrophysicist.
People pay to go and listen to him.
He's behind the lies. He's behind everything. He
We
has
love
a source.
NDT.
You guys hate him. Shit.
He's a bit of an idiot. He's a bit of an idiot.
I'm concerned with what he
visual
said in the context, and I'm concerned with what he said in the context that he said it and exactly how he said it or what he said. If someone says to me, like this Mark guy, that Neil deGrasse Tyson says you can't see curvature from the ISS, that's a lie. Because Neil deGrasse Tyson never said
The
that.
height that the ISS goes is 250 miles. Neil deGrasse Tyson says you need to go 1,000 miles or something.
No,
he
he
doesn't
does
say that,
not.
dude. He does not say that. Show us.
He said feet. He said above 100,000 feet, not miles. And guess what? He's
where the
wrong.
Kármán line is.
He's wrong because we have video of several balloons and two fucking privately owned, parabolic flights that clearly fucking show curvature. So nobody gives a fuck what Neil deGrasse Tyson ever says.
So Mark, I just posted a picture of 170 feet
said.
orbit. Okay, that's 170 miles in orbit. Okay, that's a picture of Earth. Now it clearly has curvature, as you can see in the picture.
No,
So
it's
that's
not curvature. It's
170 miles.
horizontal.
Hold on, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. So that's clearly curvature, as you can see in the picture. And if that's curvature at 170 miles, then isn't it clear that Neil deGrasse Tyson was either saying something different in context or mistaken?
I've looked at this picture before, and I'm not too sure about it.
Why?
So instead of answering the question that was asked, you just
I've looked at it. I've looked at it before too. I've looked at it quite a lot, to be honest with you. I know a lot about this picture, actually.
I think I would trust the expert, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Sorry.
He's not an expert on
Hold on, Patrick.
No.
Hold on. That is an expert that took that, though, right? That's an astronaut that took that.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm going to trust the expert.
Yeah, that is an expert. And by the way, that expert that took that, that's my father, and I'm the one that developed the picture, so I can tell you that the picture did not pass through NASA's chain of processing. So what exactly are you saying that you don't believe about the picture?
I don't know who you are, but I trust the expert Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I know, but that's
Why do you trust him? Why do you trust him in that instance and not in every other instance when he talks about?
Who says I don't?
You're glossing over the fact that he trusts Neil deGrasse Tyson, even though he misquoted him.
Well,
I'm pretty sure Neil deGrasse Tyson counter evidence, and your own eyes are showing you counter evidence that you're ignoring because you.
I'm pretty sure that he would say it's a globe. Yeah, right.
He's never gone into space, and Scott's father has.
You trust Neil when he says the Earth is a globe? Like, is that something you trust him on?
Well, he changes. He says it's an oblique spheroid. He says it's a sphere. He can.
Same thing.
He can say. Okay, I won't speak.
It's just lag, I think, but it is the same. It's pretty much the same thing. He does. He asserts that it's not flat. That's the point that is being made. And do you trust him when he talks about science in that regard? Do you trust him when he talks about science in terms of? Hang on. Do you trust him when he talks about science of spaceflight, even though that's not his field? Or do you ignore it and tell him he's wrong?
Which one do you want me to start off with first? The first one. Do you want me to start off with the first one? That he says the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, if you want.
Well, the Earth is flat. It's measurable.
Then why don't
even you know it's flat.
Neil deGrasse.
You walk around.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said it's not. He said, and I quote, on a celestial bodies, consider the Earth pretty much a perfect sphere. That the ridges of the peaks and valleys are that less than a billiards ball. That it is slightly oblique. So he said it is a sphere.
Do you trust him when he says that it's not flat?
Do you trust him when he says that then? Yes or no?
I'm asking you. Do you trust him when he says that?
I'm going to ask you the same thing.
No?
Do you trust him when it suits you?
When he's wrong, after you answer my question,
but
after you answer that direct question, then you can turn around and ask me what I believe.
I haven't heard him say it, so I can't. I don't know where you. If you could send me what you've heard.
That's what he said.
You can send that to me.
Word for word.
Yeah, you send it.
Well, the point that's being made
Mark,
is.
where's that 1,000?
Hold on.
Where's that 1,000-mile comment from? I want to see that 1,000-mile one.
Yeah, well, there's also another point that's very important to make.
No, it says feet.
That I, for instance, don't have to. For instance, I don't have to trust a single thing that Neil deGrasse Tyson says to disprove the flat Earth.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, like the point is, we agree with him when he's right, and we say he's wrong when he's wrong. But you're trying to make it out to be like, oh, we have to believe him. But then when we flip that on you, you're like, oh, I just believe him because he's an expert. But then we flip that on you and we say, well, he says the Earth is a globe.
I haven't heard it. Send it to me.
I mean, yeah, that's my point.
What's he an expert in?
Send it to me. What did he say?
What do you want to see?
What's Neil deGrasse Tyson an expert in?
He's an astrophysicist.
Yeah.
He's a theoretical astrophysicist, right?
Well, but anyway, the point
is,
Mark, the point is that you're being inconsistent, and you're just saying.
No, I'm not. You're saying he said something. Show me.
But why do we have to believe him? Nobody cares. It's fine.
Why do we have to believe him? Because he's an expert in his field.
No, it's all right.
But he's clearly wrong about this.
Is he an expert in his field? Right? Yes or no?
So he can't be wrong.
Yeah, he's an expert. He's an expert who's wrong in this case.
That's all we need to say.
But can he be wrong in this case? Can he be wrong?
We're going to need to believe him, isn't we?
Is it possible for an expert to be wrong? Is it possible?
Of course.
Yes, it's possible. So we're telling you he's wrong in this case. We've shown you evidence of it.
Sorry, say that again.
We believe that he's wrong in this case, and we've shown you evidence that he's wrong.
But who are you? You are no one to him. Just like me.
Yes, we've shown you evidence. We've shown you evidence.
You also believe that
hold on, monkey. We've shown you evidence of this. we've shown you evidence of this, and the evidence should be compelling.
What evidence? You haven't. What evidence?
Yes,
Unlike
we've shown you
you,
pictures.
Veach.
We've
What
shown
that
you pictures
picture?
of curvature. We've shown you pictures of
From
curvature
you.
taken
From
at
you.
lower altitudes.
From you.
Yeah.
You are no one.
Unlike
Yeah, but
you,
it's
Veach,
going to
Neil
say
deGrasse
that.
still
It's
gets
evidence,
bookings,
no one
okay,
knows
and
who you
shows.
It's a picture. That's why it's a picture, Mark.
Yeah, it's a
You don't have to
picture.
take my word for it. You can look at the picture.
Yeah, but
If-
you
if-
are
if
not
you
an
want-
expert.
If
You're
you
not an
want,
expert. Sorry.
But why would I have to be an expert to take a picture? It's the whole point of a picture. The picture speaks for itself.
Sorry,
And
sir.
by the way,
You're not an
here's-
expert.
Okay,
You're not an
well that's
expert.
fine. That's fine.
So,
That's fine.
I've just
hold on,
decided-
Crafty. Let me just finish for one thing.
Oh,
just
let
finish
her
for one thing.
speak,
I'm gonna post.
Veach.
Chemo, just let me finish and then I'll be quiet.
Let her finish,
So
like you
I'm gonna
let
post-
anyone
I'm
else
gonna post-
finish.
Just hold on, Chemo. I'll be quiet in a second. I'm gonna post an article, Mark. But this is just so you know. Here's an expert in astrophysics or physics at least.
I know, Veach, you're out of line here.
I'm gonna post it in a second. Hey, Chemo, just
No,
shut.
you're out of order,
Here, I'm gonna
Veach.
post it. I'm gonna post it in a second. But the line that is relevant is he says visual daytime observations show that the minimum altitude at which curvature of the horizon can be detected is at slightly below 35,000 feet. All right.
Veach,
So
you're out
here's
of
the article
line.
that I'm referring to. Just hush, Chemo. You're
You're
always out of
acting
line.
out of control here.
Chemo, just hush. You're being a weirdo.
I'm trying to have a simple conversation, and you're making it something
I know.
that's
It's my turn to talk. So just shut the fuck up
Chemo.
for a second.
not. Okay.
Okay, there you go, Mark. That's the first one.
You want to say something now, Crafty? Get your chance.
Yeah, Mark asked for Neil deGrasse Tyson to talk about how the Earth is not flat. I've just posted that, and it starts at about 2 minutes. So you asked for him. You asked for it directly.
On the nightly show.
Yeah, you asked for it
And
directly, and it comes out of him directly. So
Well,
enjoy.
So is that your evidence?
You
That's him
asked.
saying a
Hang on.
thing.
You asked for
for it.
him saying a thing. I've given you an evidence of him saying a thing.
All right.
You can find
He
it
says-
anywhere.
He says the world's not flat, but the world is flat. I drive on a
It's
flat.
not, and he would
flat
never.
road.
It's not.
admit to something like
According
that.
to the expert, it's not.
Because you've just said that you will listen to the expert, Neil
Yeah.
deGrasse Tyson. Now Neil deGrasse
Yeah,
Tyson
but
is in that
listen-
video saying it's not flat.
Yeah,
So
but
are you going
but-
to accept what Neil deGrasse Tyson says when he says it's not flat, or are you going
Well,
to cherry pick the
we
bits
know
that you're going to
we know
believe?
that the world is flat. Drive a car's flat.
No,
you walk flat,
the
you run flat.
The expert says that it's
You
not.
play football flat.
According to you and according
flat
to your
plane.
standards, and we're going to hold you.
You
We're going
fly
to hold
flat.
your.
You go by
sta-
sea
We're
flat.
going to hold your standards
Fine.
of what you accept. So according to what you accept, the expert Neil deGrasse Tyson said that it's not fucking flat, so it's not
Yeah,
flat.
I'll give you two examples. And this one is on a show. The other one is more on a general scientific forum. So this one I'm not going to believe. This one's more of a joke. I think he's joking on this one. He's joking on this one, but in the actual one where he says you can't see curvature at this height, he's in a science forum, so it's different. I think here he's
No,
just
it's
playing
not.
around
He's-
and
no, it's
laughing
not.
at you.
He
guys,
was doing.
in my
He
opinion.
was doing
I
the 2 or 3 times that he said that. One, he was at
the Nightly Show.
he was,
I've seen
he
this
was
on the
having a
Nightly
talk
Show when he
and
said it. I think he's joking around. He's having you on.
What did
Do you
Scott
have
say
evidence
about
that he's
35,000
joking around?
feet?
No, he's an actor.
Scott, what did you say about 35,000 feet?
That's the minimum at which you should start to see curvature.
According to who?
This physicist that wrote the paper that I posted.
It's okay. Here's another video. Here's another video where here's another video where Neil deGrasse Tyson says it is not flat. There you go. So enjoy. I have about 15 more. I have about 15 more.
Where is it?
Crafty, we're not
It's in
saying
the debate chat box.
Crafty, we're not
Send it again, I
saying
can't
Neil
see it.
deGrasse is saying the Earth is flat. We're not saying
Third
that.
from the most recent.
What we're
Right,
saying,
We
so-
are now,
sorry.
Chemo. We are
Chemo.
now. Stop
Chemo,
stop
the
gating,
reason
Chemo.
why this came up, just for context, because you might have been away. The reason why this came up is because Mark was stating that Neil deGrasse Tyson, he will listen to the experts instead of someone who actually developed the photo that we were talking about. He will refer to the experts, mainly Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, I asked, would he accept Neil deGrasse Tyson when he says that the Earth is not flat? That's why I actually shared those videos.
No, when he's not on the show, when he's messing around with you guys, yeah.
But he's not on the show on the second
He
one.
was. I can't see it. I don't know where it is.
It's in the
Send it
chat
again.
box.
Send it.
Debate chat box.
This guy's not a flat earther,
Send it.
obviously, because
I can't see
it's in the
it.
chat box from Crafty Keela, and it's the most recent message. He obviously has no idea that it's there, or he's a troll.
That's why I just said it's in the chat box. It's debate chat box just above this one.
Yeah, I'm in it.
No, look.
I'm in
Crafty,
it.
you're missing the point
Where
of
it
this
says
whole
round
entire
earth.
argument here, okay?
This is round earth.
So hold on a second,
Yeah.
Mike. So look, let me just kind of clear this up a second. So, yes, Neil thinks he's on a ball. Okay, that's not a problem. But what we're trying to illustrate to you that you're
Sorry, just to stop you there. This is also on a show, and he's messing around as well.
It's an interview. It's not a
Yeah,
show.
he's
It's an
messing around.
interview.
He's messing around.
And
they're all shows, dude.
Serious. Sorry.
He must-
It's
he
all-
must-
All said he's just messing around.
Yeah, Crafty. What we're saying is that your experts are saying that we're not. If, like I said, if we accept you're on a ball,
No, they're just messing around. They're just messing around, Chemo. Can you hear?
even if we
Chemo,
accept,
Mark was the one that said that he was an expert. Mark was the one that was referring to the expert of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was the one that said, "I will refer to the expert," which was Neil deGrasse Tyson. We were not asserting. We were not asserting anyone. Hang on. I was not asserting, and nobody else was asserting that we were experts. He was the one saying, "I will refer to the expert Neil deGrasse Tyson."
100%.
That's why the video came up, because I asked
100%.
if Neil deGrasse Tyson came out and said something that you didn't agree with, but was factually correct, would you accept that, or would you cherry pick what Neil deGrasse says?
I would accept it. And this again is another joke. He's laughing and joking around. This is not a serious forum. He's just messing around and playing.
How do you know
Are
he's
those
not joking
goalposts-
around the one that you like?
I've watched
I mean,
this. I've watched this loads of times before.
Uh-huh.
It's a
Mark,
comedy. It's just joking, messing
You're
around.
very
Mark.
honest man, Mark. I can tell.
Yeah, are those goalposts heavy,
But
Mark?
it's true. It's true.
How heavy are
Star Talk is
those
not
He's
real.
lying.
Star Talk is not real? Not a real channel?
This is ridiculous.
Sorry,
Of course it's real.
Is Star Talk not a real channel?
I don't watch Star Talk.
Exactly. So you're talking from ignorance then?
I don't watch Imaginary Land. No.
But that's the thing. You're talking from ignorance because you've never seen the channel, but you know for a fact that it's a joke.
Is
That's
that the
my
one where
point.
it's on Netflix and it's all like CGI stuff?
No.
Dude.
all right, Crafty. Look,
I'm talking to this podcast.
so
I'm just trying to understand where he's coming from, because he says on the one hand that Neil deGrasse Tyson is an expert, and then on the other hand he's saying that he's not an expert and he doesn't know what he's talking about, and that's my point.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
He's an
no, that's his
expert.
game. He's a troll. Just listen to his voice.
No, he's an
Yeah, it's
expert.
ridiculous.
On those two
Mark,
interviews
come
that
on.
you showed
Mark,
me, he's
definitely
messing
a troll.
around. He's joking.
I
He's
know.
laughing.
How do
No.
you know
Funny,
that?
messing around, not serious.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because you can clearly see it's a joke. The first one, the Larry one, it's a comedy, it's a joke. This one here, the guy that is interviewing him is a joke as well, and they're comedians and all
They're
that.
all jokes.
How do you know when you've never
He's laughing
seen
at
the
you.
show?
He's laughing at you. That's it.
He's
You've
laughing
never
at
seen
you
the
when he says
show.
the thing about it's flat.
Sorry.
They're all jokes, Mark. They're all jokes. Every time he says anything, it's a joke.
Yeah, throw it all out, Mark.
But
Just throw out
Mark
every
is
single thing
saying
that
they're
he said.
professional comedians when he's never seen the YouTube channel. So I mean, that's
But he
speaking
just
from
watched it.
ignorance.
He just watched what he posted, though.
The whole thing is a joke. He's taking the piss out of you. He's not a flat earther.
Yes,
Cannot catch
we
on to
know.
the joke.
We know.
She ain't got on
We're
yet. She's
saying
still
that like
trying to
private.
Beach, for goodness sakes, we can't hear anyone.
Shut
When
up,
someone
Kimo.
starts
Kimo, shut up,
talking, you
shut
start
up, shut
over
up.
talking
You are so
them.
annoying,
She's
Kimo.
still-
You're such a
she's still
gatekeeper.
gonna get
Shut
it.
up.
This is
caught
going to
on yet,
happen all
love?
night. When someone speaks, you speak.
Oh, Kimo, just hush, just hush, just hush.
Let's see how this is
Kimo
going to go
gatekeeping
next.
again?
It says you want to count
Oh,
mine
Kimo,
live.
you're not in
Let's
charge.
count how many
Just
times you
stop talking,
overspeak
Kimo.
somebody.
You're making too much noise. You're trying to be in control too much. Just relax.
The Brummy just came in, started speaking, you
Just
started
stop,
talking
Kimo.
over him.
Relax, relax. You're trying to talk over people. Just stop gatekeeping.
Beach, how can this happen? You
Kimo,
want to keep over
stop doing
talking
this.
people?
Relax. Just stop talking, dude.
Guys. Look, all I was saying is that girl. It's not Carl Khan. That he was taking the piss the whole time.
Mike
He
is
clearly
shit.
wasn't-
Sound great.
Can't hear you, mate.
Sound
Can't
like
hear
$1
you.
million bucks, man.
Can't hear you.
Which
Come
is
closer.
painful to listen to her still chasing that dead tail. It was the joke was
Still
just-
can't hear you.
People to listen
Still
to
can't hear
you
you.
talk through your fucking shitty mic, dude.
Take the mic
Go
out
get
and
the-
plug it
go
back
get the
in
mic.
again. Can't hear you.
Go
Got
get the
bad
mic
mic
of
for me.
somebody better than you.
Guys,
Seriously.
calm down. Relax, guys. Come on, relax.
More insults, generic Brummy insults.
So, Mark, you mentioned that the Earth is
No, is that-
measurably
is that
flat.
better?
Do
Is that
you
better?
have
I
that?
didn't say that. When did I say the Earth is measurably flat? I
Actually,
didn't say that statement.
You did say
You
that.
did.
No, I didn't say the Earth
Twice.
is measurably flat. Did I?
You did say it.
I said it's flat.
You said measurable flat.
Yeah, we build things on it flat, and which is measurable. Yes, like a house, we build it flat.
Yeah.
Yes, and
You have
roads.
that?
Yeah,
You
roads.
have a measure.
flat.
You have a measure. Roads are flat. Not around here, buddy.
Of course, there's obviously terrain depending on. We don't really care about that, but when we measure in,
roads and houses are not
level.
when we're
roads
building
and
houses,
houses are
we
not
try and
built
measure
flat,
it
dude.
flat. Depending on drainage, we might want to. Obviously, some of the roads need to be tilted so the water can run off.
Oh,
Right.
so they're not flat at all. Just like
Okay,
just
roads
like
are
building
flat,
pads
but
aren't.
generally, most of them are flat.
No, they're not.
Runways aren't flat.
Not even a little bit.
Not even close.
Hey, I've been in Arizona and drove into all the way to Vegas. Trust me, it was pretty flat.
Yeah.
Then you know that those roads have a sagitta and a hump for water drainage and to keep the ice from forming on them during the winter. Anyway,
Sorry?
my point is, do you have measurements of flatness?
Yeah, when you build a house, you try and make sure the house is level.
No, they're not.
Wait, level doesn't mean flat.
Size of a house compared to the
Level doesn't mean flat.
No, it doesn't.
Right,
Especially
level
in
means
especially in construction, building pads. Not one of them for a house. The foundation that's built on it is not fucking flat whatsoever.
Level is not flat. Okay.
No, it's
Why
not.
is this always
I've
the
never
argument?
heard
It's just giggling. So much giggling from flat earthers.
Because it's ridiculous.
The building pad at which they put the foundation on, the dirt from that.
Yeah, they make
anywhere
it.
from
There's a misunderstanding.
has a
Tape
half
can
a
be
percent
flat.
has 0.5% of fall for water, so it doesn't drain into if you have a basement, drain into your basement. For water drainage, it has 0.5% to 1% of fall from the high side to the low side, usually towards the street. I know because that's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've done for a living.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Just a little
Are you
bit.
Johnny B?
No.
Just a little bit.
No,
Just
he can respond. Let
clarify.
him respond to what I said, Johnny. Then you can.
I will
Let him
respond to what you were
respond.
saying.
Let him respond. No, I was talking to him. So let him respond to what I said, and then you can.
Okay, I hope so. Okay.
Okay, so repeat yourself again, please.
So building pads for houses and industrial structures and shit has anywhere from 0.5% to 1% of fall.
I said for drainage. Yeah, for drainage. Yes.
Okay, so when they put that in there, it's not flat. If you put a
The building is flat. The building is flat.
No, those are not.
But
Even the
obviously
buildings.
I just built my own house. Outside, my house is flat, but obviously for drainage, we made the steps lean in slightly, so all the water runs down into the drain. So what are you trying to say?
Your house isn't flat.
It is flat.
No, it's not.
It's flat. My house is flat. Yes, it is. My friend,
You just proved it's not.
Okay,
no,
he has
my
a
house
response.
is flat, but the outside where the slabs are, we've made it lean, so all the water when it rains, it runs down into the drain.
So
you can change the ground that you're on. You can make it lean so the water runs off.
So if it's
just like how the roads
houses
are made in England as well.
Yeah,
we get a lot of rain. Yeah,
think-
so we have lots of drainage, but sometimes there's a bit of camber and it lifts up and obviously goes down into the drain.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, Hannah. I think Mark's taking us for a ride again.
I'm not, but the thing I don't get, level is not flat.
No,
Okay,
it's
can
not.
I respond to
Wow,
it?
I'm
Can
going to
I
have to look that one up. I need to research that one. Level's not flat.
Be careful. Synonyms are not definitions.
You
Well,
just said
it's
your
not.
house is not.
This is Merriam-Webster definition 3 of 3, having no parts higher then another, conforming to, and then the second part of that,
I'm going to look at the Oxford Dictionary.
conforming
The
to
English.
the curvature
Oh,
of the liquid parts of
Dictionary.
Earth's surface.
English. We all speak English, so I'm going to look at the Oxford Dictionary.
Fuck Oxford.
Okay, I will tell you.
There you go.
What the difference between a flat and level and horizontal. Horizontal is just like we are living in a real life, the sea level, and we are measuring everything from the sea level, how high Mount Everest is, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, don't talk over me. I'm just saying, but flat is just like a table. Yeah, it can have a different degree. It can be the left or right or whatsoever degree, but table is flat. There you have it. And level,
No, they're
is
not.
Yes, yeah, okay, I'm not finished. Level is always that like your structure. If you are building something, then you have the line and you have the level line, and the level line is always like a horizontal. It can be in a different. Listen. This is a last point. Last point.
Guys, can I share my screen?
Can be in a different altitude, and so on. It don't have to be in the space in the same sea level, but it is doing the same principle. Okay, I'm finished.
And you were just wrong on like all of it.
Can I share my screen by any chance?
Are you going to play Scott in chess, Johnny? We need to know.
Can I share my screen? Is that all right?
Of course you can. Well, yeah,
of course.
Go live or something.
Go live.
Okay, I see you.
What can you see? So level.
I'm taking it.
All right. Let's look at. So it says flat, smooth, even, uniform, plain, flush, plumb, regular.
Yes, plain. Do you know what plain is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, and it's horizontal.
Yes, it's horizontal.
Could you turn off the football program? It's really hard to hear you over.
Horizontal. Level, right? Yes or no?
But it is, but it can be in a different evaluation in the space.
Yeah, but we all know level is horizontal and it's flat, smooth, even, uniform, plain, flush, plumb, and regular. We all know that.
Yes, that is the.
And the other guy said it was curved.
That is the definition. Yes.
It was curved. There's no curved in here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you.
Absolutely. You have to understand that. And they can never be curved.
Except if you follow the definition that says conforming to the liquid of the Earth.
Yeah, but you saw the definition. It's absolutely definition.
Yeah, I saw there was like, but how many definitions was there? I saw at least 6 on that screen.
Yeah, so similar. There's flat, smooth, even. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8. And there's more as well.
Those are synonyms.
There's even more.
Those are synonyms, not definition.
Yeah, and there's true as flat as a pancake. That's one as well. As flat as a pancake.
Right. Pancakes aren't flat.
Yeah, I know.
That's not,
I know.
That's not here or there.
It's just funny to say, okay?
It's the pancakes.
Yeah, we know pancakes are not flat.
You can say it's flat as a basketball also.
And basketball's pretty damn flat.
Basketball is not flat, is it?
It's fucking stupid to say a basketball is a flat plane. No, it's
basketball could have a puncher.
When you use the word, it means that it's not perfectly. So it's giving you a
puncher in the basketball, and it would be flat.
How can you say so stupid? A ball is something else than a ball. Ball is ball. That's it.
Yeah, a ball's a sphere.
To it.
What's flatter, a football or a basketball?
A what?
Baseball.
What's flatter, a football or a basketball?
Old school.
What do you
I
mean?
tried
A
to-
soccer ball or football? I'm not too sure which football you're talking about.
Football, American football.
Oh, American football. That's
American football.
Hollywood
That's an egg.
baseball.
Egg
That
shape,
makes
right?
all the difference.
What's flatter, an American football or a basketball?
I would have
American
to
football
go,
is
I have
yes.
to go with the American football.
Neither are flat. They're curved. That's why we have the word curved. We have the word flat. Curved is
Right.
not flat.
But neither of those were the word we were defining, which is the word level, which is different than the word flat. You can tell because it's got
Right, it's
different
not.
letters.
It's not. It says it right here. It says
What
it's
if you
right
had a
here.
real big?
Oh
What
wait,
if you had a
yeah,
really big curve and then it looked flat to you, but it wasn't?
oh wait. It says it right here. Conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's surface.
1828. Damn, it's a long time. It's almost 200 years that way.
But we do have curvature in the definition here.
That's not the. It's not. That's incorrect, my friend.
Oh,
It's
no,
very
it
much
is correct.
It's not,
1828.
we're using the Oxford one. Oxford dictionary.
Well, I don't have
You all
to.
speak English,
yeah,
right?
I
You
do
speak English,
not.
you don't speak American.
I do.
You guys
Yeah, Merriam-Webster,
I don't-
Merriam-Webster,
you guys change
1828.
Level
Oxford is the
flat.
king of England.
And I don't have to conform to your fucking
You speak English.
dictionary.
You speak English, right?
Yes, and it's
So you have
written
to-
in and
you
it's
have to
written
agree
in
with me.
English right here
Right.
that conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's surface. Oops.
That's incorrect, my friend.
Just take
It's not
the
the
L.
Oxford
No,
dictionary.
it's not.
It's literally
Can't go like
there.
that, my friend.
Literally.
Go with the English.
That's a made-up definition, Pure.
Of course. Of course.
It's
Of course
really
it is.
there though.
Level is never curved. You need to get that out of your head.
You read English or not, Pure?
So
I do read
I
English,
cannot
and it's
read-
right here in
It's
English.
against all definitions. It's against all principle.
Mark, I have a
Well,
car.
except the definition for
Yeah,
level
it's
under
still the
surveying.
definition.
That's very much in the definition of level under the meaning of surveying. But you know, there are multiple meanings to words when you look them up in the dictionary, and sometimes we have technical meanings.
No way.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
Paulus, you have to understand,
Words can
it's
have more than
over.
one
We-
meaning. Oh no, this is crazy.
The fluster is
Oh, Mark is just being silly.
it's the winner of the game.
All right,
I
Mark.
don't know.
Cool. Well,